A long time ago, my grandfather gave me an article written by you, and you said that everyone's trying to be
Yeah, I'm not that
extraordinary.
old as your grandfather.
I didn't mean that, but you started pretty young, I guess, in yoga. So the article ended with you saying that, everyone's trying to be extraordinary, but being ordinary is extraordinary. And that stuck with me. And my grandfather, the reason he gave me that article was because he said that just try and be yourself, and whatever comes to you, just go with the flow and have some detachment that will take you very forward in life. And I've lived my life through that with what he wanted me to be. But I wanted to ask you, don't you think that the kind of dedication and detachment that's required to go with the flow is extraordinary?
This whole thing came up because at one time, we used to print brochures like this, inner engineering, ordinary to extraordinary. So I start the program, first day, second day, third day people ask, Sadhguru, nothing special happened to me. Then I said, I never talked about being special. Said, extraordinary you said? I said, yes. This is about becoming extraordinary, more ordinary than others. The sickness in the world is you always want to be better than somebody, which is a great sickness. If you enjoy somebody else being less than you, I think it's sickness. Right now, the whole thing is about who is number one, who is number two. What's wrong with number 100, I'm asking? Everybody has a place to fulfill, everybody has a role to play in the world. So instead of living by comparison, if you see how to make this life into a full-fledged life, see, this is what by nature every life is seeking. Whether it's an earthworm or a grasshopper or a tree, what are they seeking? They're just striving to become full-fledged what they are, nothing more. But it's easy to define what is a full-fledged earthworm, what is a full-fledged grasshopper, what is a full-fledged apple tree, we can define. What is a full-fledged human being, we are not able to define. Because wherever we keep you want to do something more, isn't it? Yes or no? Whoever you are right now, you want to be something more. If that something more happens, what? Something more. If that happens, what? Something more. Let's say we made you the queen of this planet. Don't look at me hopefully. I will not make such blunders, I'm just asking you. Suppose we make you the queen of this planet, would you be fulfilled? You will look at the stars, isn't it? That is the nature of the human being. The very nature of who you are is that you want to expand limitlessly. You want infinite expansion, but unfortunately you're going at it in installments. Can you approach infinity in installments? Can you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and one day say infinite? Is it possible? No, it's endless counting. The very nature of who you are is such, suppose I imprison you right now in 5x5 cubicle for 3 days, you will feel horribly imprisoned, then we'll announce your liberation and liberate you into your 10x10 cubicle. You will feel wonderful for a day, again you will feel imprisoned. Now we'll liberate you into your 100x100 cubicle, you will feel great for 3 days, again the same thing. It does not matter where I set the boundary. The moment you can feel the boundary, you want to break it. Yes or no? So there is something within you which does not like boundaries. There is something within you constantly longing to become boundless. But the only problem, this is a fantastic goal for you, you're seeking to become boundless or infinite is not a small thing. But the method you're employing, the vehicle you're using to get there is hopeless. Because through physical means you're trying to become boundless. The very nature of physicality or the fundamentals of physicality is a defined boundary. Only because there is a boundary, physical is possible. Right now we call this a physical body because it has a defined boundary. If I take away all the boundaries of this body, can you call this physical? So the fundamentals of physicality is boundary. but your innermost longing is to become boundless. Through physical means, if you approach boundlessness, it's going to be an endless run. So the entire dimension of what is being referred to as spiritual is just this. Spiritual does not mean you see things walking in the corners of dark streets. Spiritual does not mean you look up or down, no. It is just that your experience of life has transcended the physicality of who you are. Because physicality, as we looked at it some time ago, is something that you accumulated over a period of time. What you accumulate, you can claim is yours. But if you say it's me, you kind of lost it, isn't it? Suppose suddenly I show you this glass and this is my glass. You will think, well, Sadhguru has some problem, but let's listen some more. People say he is wise. After some time I say, this is me, then you'll say, let's go. Because this is a clear case of madness, isn't it? This is happening to you every day. Food appears on your plate, you say, this is my food, you eat it and then it's me. Once you start thinking, what is not you as myself, your fundamental perspective of life is distorted. From that distortion, whatever you do, it'll only be a struggle because it'll not find fulfillment. At least you must be able to see what is me and what is not me. This is the fundamentals of inner engineering. If you sit here, body is here, mind is out here, what is you is somewhere else. Once there's a little space between you and your body, between you and your mind, this is the end of suffering. Because you know only two kinds of suffering, physical suffering, mental suffering. Do you know any other kind of suffering? This is the only two things which are bothering you. Both these things are miracles. Human body is a miracle, human mind is a fantastic miracle. But both these things have become misery manufacturing machines right now. Simply because you have a supercomputer and you have not even bothered to read the user's manual. This is the problem with you. This International Yoga Day, you must at least start reading the user's manual. What is the nature of this? Let's start looking at this. Thank you very much for being here.